meant for him. Loyalty is not meant for him. But what's even more weird about him is like the way that he interacts with women and how he's always trying to like bring women down. So like for me, for example, like I was a pre-med student, and in casual conversation he'd always just be like, you could never be a doctor, like you're the most selfish person I've ever met. Unprompted, like so hater. And also like when I would be going out, I would FaceTime and he'd be like, who do you think you are? Like you think you're better than everyone else, always talking about how much makeup I had on and everything like that. And that's why I was like, for him to be with Janae is crazy, because like Janae is a very glamorous like baddie city girl, and it's like Kenny cannot handle a baddie. Like he wants one, but he is so like, he's a very insecure person, and he is always kind of like making fun of you, like making you feel uncomfortable and insecure. Like that's like his way of conversation.
So Kenny Rodriguez's ex-girlfriend tried to warn us all about something truly disturbing. And watching the new Beyond the Villa episode, every single thing she predicted came true in the most heartbreaking way possible. What Kenny did to Janae on their anniversary date is so shocking that even his secret Instagram meltdown looks tame in comparison. This man really thought he could create a whole burner account, like he's entering witness protection, but then linked it to his main profile. Sir, that's not going incognito, that's going incompetent. But wait until you hear what he said to Janae while they were supposed to be celebrating their love, because it explains everything about why this relationship was doomed from day one.
Let me set the scene for you, because this story just got so much darker. Kenny's ex-girlfriend tried to warn us all about his disturbing pattern with confident women. And everything she predicted came true with Janae in the most heartbreaking way possible. His ex revealed that Kenny would randomly tell her, "You could never be a doctor," and constantly make comments about her appearance to destroy her confidence. She said Kenny cannot handle a baddie and is always trying to bring women down because he's deeply insecure. But here's the chilling part. She said this was his way of conversation, his method of making women feel uncomfortable and insecure. And get this, we can literally see this pattern playing out with Janae. Remember when Kenny asked her, armpit hair or no, while she was feeling herself in a waist trainer? That wasn't awkward flirting. That was a calculated attempt to humble and embarrass her, just like his ex warned us about. But what happened in the new Beyond the Villa episode proves his ex's warnings were spot on. And honestly, it's disturbing to watch knowing what we know now.
Now here's where this story gets absolutely heartbreaking. In the August 7th episode of Beyond the Villa, we got to see Kenny and Janae celebrating their 9-month anniversary. And watching it now, knowing how this ends, is genuinely painful. The date started rocky when Janae mentioned that they'd been together for 10 months, but Kenny had a, quote, side piece for a whole 3 days. But here's where it gets interesting. When Janae brought up Casa Amor and asked if Kenny had, quote, shared a bed with another woman, he immediately got uncomfortable and didn't want to talk about it. The deflection energy was strong. Then Janae complimented Kenny on how he'd learned to, quote, communicate with her, calling him mature, and said, "I think you're teaching me patience." The irony of her praising his communication skills when we now know what allegedly came next is absolutely heartbreaking. But wait until you hear what happened when they got in the car. Get this. On their anniversary date, Kenny told Janae about a conversation he'd had with Miguel where he said, and I quote, "I want separation from you." When Janae looked visibly upset, he tried to backtrack and said, like, "I wanted to live separately. Sorry, that was unclear." But here's what's really disturbing. Janae's concern wasn't just that he wanted to live separately. She was upset because Kenny was telling their friends that they both wanted space, which she said was not the case. He was literally lying to their mutual friends about her feelings on the situation. And listen to this. When Janae called him out in the car, saying, "You full on said, let's live separate because I need space and it's too soon." Okay, cool, I respect it. But then you go tell our friends? Kenny's response was simply, "Bro." And then came the line that should have been the biggest red flag. "I'm ready to just dip." On their anniversary, after she expressed feeling hurt and embarrassed. His response was that he was ready to leave. Now here's what's so chilling about his ex's warnings. She said Kenny's pattern was to make women feel uncomfortable and insecure, and that this was his way of conversation. And we can see this exact behavior playing out with Janae. In the Beyond the Villa episode, Janae revealed that when Kenny first refused to move in with her, she started bawling crying, and then I hung up. She said she felt frustrated and really embarrassed by his rejection. But here's what's heartbreaking.
She blamed herself, saying, "Obviously, I jumped the gun. Like, I should have just listened to what you had to say." This is exactly what Kenny's ex warned us about.
I'm training. Yeah, I know. It looks so good.
She's
Look.
training for a special event.
Look.
All that hate for me eating tuna, and we got a tuna eater on our
And
hands.
look, I'm wearing my waist trainer.
With the waist trainer. Snatched.
Period.
Oh, armpit hair or no?
He would make women doubt themselves and feel like their reasonable requests were somehow wrong or too much. But get this, even after Janae adapted to his need for space and said she was fine with the separation, Kenny was still telling their friends different stories about what she wanted. The gaslighting was happening in real time.
Now let's talk about Kenny's unhinged response to getting exposed. This man really said, "Let me create a whole burner account like I'm in the witness protection program, but then linked it directly to his main profile. The brain cell shortage is real." On this secret account, Kenny posted, "To Jana Craig and anyone who needs to hear this, it was never fake. Whatever people may assume, I know what I felt, and I meant it. Sir, this sounds like a hostage video. Blink twice if your management team is holding you at gunpoint. But here's what's sending me." He had the audacity to say, "When things fall apart, people start rewriting the story to make it hurt less." Kenny, baby, you're not rewriting the story. You're straight up writing fan fiction at this point, and it's giving Wattpad quality. And get this, people who had early access reported he posted stories asking, "What have I done or said that's racist?" which mysteriously disappeared faster than his YouTube video promises. Even his own posts are ghosting him now.
But wait, it gets even more pathetic. Kenny teased on his secret account, "Story time with full receipts coming Monday, ... Subscribe to be notified." Monday came and went like Kenny's credibility. Tuesday passed. Wednesday said, "Not today, Satan." And still no video. This man really said coming soon like he's Netflix announcing season 2 of a show nobody asked for. Either his management locked him in a room with no Wi-Fi, or he realized his quote-unquote seats were actually just grocery store receipts that prove he bought the ingredients for this mess he cooked up. The fact that he hyped up a whole expose and then vanished like my motivation on Monday mornings tells us everything we need to know about how solid his defense actually is. Even his lies have commitment issues.
Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, what Janae's best friend Charmaine allegedly found on Kenny's phone that ended everything. Charmaine posted advice for women. If you have access, go through your man's phone today. Search keywords like, "I don't like black women," "I thought I would get more money from this," "I'm faking this relationship," "Going on the show would be for clout," "I can't wait to be done with this so I can hella." If these allegations are true, it means Kenny spent over a year dating, kissing, and making love declarations to a black woman while harboring racist feelings about black women in general. That's not just relationship drama. That's psychological warfare. And here's what makes it even more sick. Janae had called Kenny her safe place and said his love gave her the courage to be myself around you. Meanwhile, he was allegedly discussing her using racial stereotypes and planning his exit strategy. The level of deception and manipulation required to pull this off for over a year, that's sociopathic behavior. But here's what's beautiful in all this mess. The entire Love Island cast took one look at this situation and said, "We choose Janae," with their whole chest. When people who shared a bathroom with you for weeks all immediately picked the same side, that's not a coincidence, that's a consensus. Leah Kateb said what we were all thinking. Put a sock in it, ChatGPT head accidents. Tell the truth for once. Racist, clout/money hungry, and a scammer since day one. Leah really said, "Let me end this man's whole career in one Instagram story. The efficiency is admirable." Olivia Walker called Kenny's story pathetic and ended with, "I hope this gives you the clout you always wanted, you esking loser." Olivia woke up and chose violence, and honestly, we respect it. Even Love Island host Ariana Madix, who's seen more reality TV drama than a Bravo executive, called Janae an angel and a queen, and basically said good riddance about Kenny. When the host unfollows you, you've officially been voted off the island of decent human beings.
Now, watching Beyond the Villa, knowing what we know, is like rewatching a horror movie. You're screaming at the screen because you can see all the red flags the main character is missing. Kenny talking about finesse at the skating rink? Sir, we know you're an expert in that department. Then he immediately fell on his butt, and Mother Universe said, that's what you get. But the most disturbing scene is watching Kenny discuss fostering dogs while allegedly having texts about not liking black women on his phone. This man was planning their fake future while literally counting down the days until he could be done. That's not acting, that's psychological warfare with a smile. Every time he looked uncomfortable about their future plans, we thought it was just normal relationship anxiety. Turns out it was just Kenny realizing he'd have to keep up the charade longer than expected. The secondhand embarrassment is overwhelming.
But here's what makes Janae absolutely incredible. Despite everything she's allegedly endured, she's handled this situation with pure class and grace. While Kenny was creating secret accounts and threatening YouTube exposés, Janae posted a video begging fans to leave his family alone.
One more thing, sorry. You guys, if you genuinely love me, if you genuinely care about me, you want to help me heal, I'm begging you, please leave Kenny's family alone. That family did nothing wrong to me. They were nothing but kind. Everyone I ever met always defends me, always stood up for me. Do not go to their house. Don't go to their jobs. Do not threaten them. I'm begging you, leave them alone. They've been through enough. They've been apologetic to me. They've always been nice to me, so I'm begging you guys, please leave Kenny's family alone. I'm trying to close this chapter. It's getting stressful, but if you guys could do anything for me, can you guys just leave it alone? Like, we're done, we're moving on. But his family were always so kind, so kind to me. So I'd appreciate it if you guys would leave their home, leave their jobs, everything. It's not okay. I do not think that's okay. That shit's not funny to me. Please.
If you genuinely love me, if you genuinely care about me, you want to help me heal, I'm begging you, please leave Kenny's family alone. That family did nothing wrong to me. They were nothing but kind. Everyone I ever met always defended me, always stood up for me. This woman who allegedly discovered racist texts about herself on her boyfriend's phone is out here protecting the people who raised the man who hurt her. The level of grace and maturity is absolutely stunning. And get this, she continued, do not go to their house, don't go to their jobs, do not threaten them. I'm begging you, leave them alone. They've been through enough. They've been apologizing to me. They've always been nice to me. The contrast between Janae's response and Kenny's response tells you everything about their character. Let's go back to that anniversary date, because the more you think about it, the more disturbing it becomes. Kenny chose their 9-month anniversary, a day meant to celebrate their love, to tell Janae he wanted separation from her. But here's what's even worse. When she got upset about him lying to their friends about her feelings, his response was, I'm ready to just dip. Not, let me explain, not, I'm sorry you're hurt. But essentially, I'm ready to leave. On their anniversary, after she expressed feeling embarrassed and hurt, his instinct was to abandon the conversation and the relationship. And this was all being filmed for Beyond the Villa, which means he said these things knowing they would air on television for millions to see. The disrespect is astronomical. Kenny's alleged texts mentioned getting, quote, more money from the relationship and being on the show, quote, for clout. This man really turned Love Island into Love Island Business School. And Janae was his unwitting thesis project. Every brand deal, every couple's content, every romantic post was allegedly part of his personal entrepreneurship course titled How to Monetize a Queen 101. Professor Kenny was really out here getting his MBA in manipulation, while Janae thought they were building a life together. When Kenny posted for Janae's birthday about how her, quote, smile lights up every room, he was basically writing a product review. 5 stars, would recommend for clout generation, exclamation point. And here's what's really sick. While Janae was calling him her, quote, safe place, Kenny was allegedly treating her like a business investment that he couldn't wait to cash out. The emotional damage of discovering your boyfriend saw you as a quarterly earnings report, that's trauma with a capital T. Kenny's ex-girlfriend said something that's haunting me. Kenny cannot handle a baddie. Like he wants one, but he is so insecure and he is always making you feel uncomfortable and insecure. Like that's like his way of conversation. Think about that. Making women feel uncomfortable and insecure was his way of conversation. And we can see this playing out with Janae throughout their relationship. When she wanted to move in together, he made her feel like she was asking for too much. When she got excited about their future, he dampened her enthusiasm. When she celebrated their anniversary, he told her he wanted separation. And in the car on their anniversary date, when Janae expressed how his words and actions had hurt her, his response was to get quiet and then say he was ready to leave. Classic emotional manipulation, making the person who was hurt feel like they're the problem. Here's something interesting from the anniversary date. When Janae asked Kenny if he had shared a bed with another woman in Casa Amor, he immediately got uncomfortable and didn't want to talk about it. For those who don't remember, Kenny recoupled with Catherine Marshall after Casa Amor, which devastated Janae. She was so hurt, she considered leaving the villa. And what did Kenny do? He cried and begged Janae to take him back, with tears streaming down his face saying, I want you, I need you. But now we're wondering, were those tears real? Or was he crying over losing out on money and status rather than their relationship? His alleged texts suggest he was already planning to use the relationship for clout. So his Casa Amor breakdown takes on a completely different meaning. The fact that he still gets uncomfortable talking about it suggests there's more to that story than we know. Remember how Kenny posted that his main account isn't run by me? That is what management is for? This man really threw his own team under the bus faster than a rush hour commuter. His team was out here doing damage control, while Kenny was in his room having a full Britney 2007 moment, wanting to shape his reputation completely bald. The PR statement was corporate Kenny, but the private account, that was feral Kenny, and nobody asked for that energy. He promised receipts like he was Gordon Ramsay about to expose a bad restaurant, but then vanished like he was entering witness protection. Either his lawyers locked him in a room with no phone, or his quote-unquote receipts were actually just screenshots of his DoorDash orders, proving he's been ordering L's all week.
This whole situation represents something much bigger than one messy breakup. It's about how some people use reality TV relationships as business opportunities rather than genuine connections. Kenny allegedly saw Janae as a brand partnership, not a girlfriend. Think about it. Janae brought cultural capital, social media engagement, and genuine fan love to their partnership. She was the fan favorite, the one everyone was rooting for. Kenny was the bombshell who came in later and won over America's sweetheart. If the alleged texts are true, he knew exactly what he was doing. He wasn't building a relationship. He was executing a business plan. And the fact that he allegedly harbored racist feelings while profiting off a relationship with a black woman makes it even more disgusting.
What's beautiful about this mess is watching Janae's real support system rally around her. Her sister Naja posted that Kenny fumbled the baddest he'll ever have. And honestly, facts. The entire PPG crew, Leah, Serena, and their boyfriends, immediately unfollowed Kenny and stood with Janae. When people who know both of you personally all choose the same side immediately, that tells you everything about who the real problem is. And Serena's reminder that this is not a show and someone's actual feelings are involved shows exactly the kind of maturity and empathy that Kenny apparently lacks.
Jezebel really said, "Let us translate this situation for the people in the back," with their article titled, "Jana Craig and Kenny Rodriguez's breakup is another reminder to never trust a man." The headline alone was a whole dissertation. They pointed out that Kenny was the same man who literally cried, hand clutched over his chest, chanting, "I want you, I need you," during Casa Amor, but turns out he might have been crying over losing his meal ticket, not his meal. The article noted he was allegedly using racial slurs in group chats with his friends, all while Janae was actively discussing marriage. This man was really living a double life like he was in a spy movie, except instead of saving the world, he was just destroying someone's heart. And the most diabolical part? His relationship with Janae was one of the most beloved storylines of season 6. He basically turned America's favorite love story into a Ponzi scheme with feelings. Bernie Madoff could never.
This situation highlights something much more serious: the pattern of black women being exploited and fetishized in reality TV relationships. As one article pointed out, reality TV dating shows have historically been unkind to black women, especially as desirability politics, tokenism, and a lack of diversity in cast have long been a standard. But there's a particularly cruel twist happening now where black women have become central players and fan favorites, which makes them targets for people who see their social capital as something to exploit. The article noted that with more Love Island USA fans gravitating towards black women and the cultural fetishizing and appropriation they face, they've become central players on the show that others want to use for clout and money. Janae's situation isn't unique. The article mentioned that, quote, "a similar incident happened with Love Island USA Season 4 winners and fan favorites Zeta Morrison and Timmy Pandolfi. After Pandolfi refused to ride to the airport with Morrison, she said in an interview that she soon found out that he was faking his connection with her the entire time." This is a pattern, and it needs to be called out and stopped.
Kenny has lost about 100,000 followers faster than people running from a horror movie villain, which is fitting because that's essentially what he is. His influencer career is more over than a 2000s boy band reunion tour. But here's what really matters. Janae is free. Free from someone who allegedly saw her as a business plan with a pulse. Free from someone who would tell her he wanted separation on their anniversary like he was breaking up with his cell phone carrier. As Ariana Madix said, Janae is an angel and a queen and a force, and she deserves better than someone who treats love like a franchise opportunity. Kenny thought he could run game on a beautiful, intelligent, successful black woman for over a year and get away with it. But Janae and her support system said, "Sir, this is not it." And now he's facing the consequences of his alleged actions. The tea has been spilled, the receipts have been audited, and Kenny Rodriguez has been thoroughly canceled. Justice for Janae, and may she continue to thrive while Kenny learns that karma doesn't take payment plans. What do y'all think about Kenny telling Janae he wanted separation on their anniversary? Because even a breakup text would have been more romantic than that mess.